Justin Bailey, Lone Star Communications. I'm in the engineering department and I work for Grand Prairie. Rapid is our real-time automated patient information display, and what it does is it ties to the electronic medical record and it pulls all the conditions for the patient directly from it. Name, who their doctor is, various staff members, fall risk, allergy, and that sort of thing. It's unique because it takes the need for sticky notes, and sometimes there's physical room signage with sliders on them to denote these different conditions, and this just completely automates it. So when THR Alliance was being conceptualized, Rapid was really born out of a conversation of it would be really cool if we could do this if between Joe Jackson, Michael Lee, and Wingy, who was in charge of designing this hospital. And what they really wanted to do was to reassure the patients' families that they're putting their loved ones in a place that leverages everything at their disposal to give them a great standard of care. Oh, there was most certainly a lot of trial and error, and it was a long process. So basically, what happened was the sales group brought back these requirements to engineering. We created a scope we worked with them to create a scope, and there was a long evolution to ultimately land where we are now with Rapid. Basically, we started with literally a wood version with just pieces of hardware in it, and over time we just kept refining it until it looks kind of like what they were looking for. From there we had some prototyping done, and we selected manufacturers that supplied components that would help us achieve what we wanted to with this digital signage. And prototype done, we brought it in front of the customer, they signed off on it. There was a whole color selection process and how it had to blend in with their physical kind of room decor. And yeah, after everything was good, we installed it. We went live there, and as many things go in development, you're never actually done. So it's continued to evolve even after the fact of that. Yeah, so THR Alliance, that happened in 2013, and that was a metal version that was built into the room signage. The little thing on the wall that has the room number and the braille and the placard and stuff. Whenever we were in discussions with Parkland, they didn't like it. They didn't want it to be square. They wanted a more refined, kind of rounded version, and when we looked at the sheer size of Parkland, they have over 800 of them in their building. It quickly became apparent that it was not going to be feasible to do 800 metal frames done on a press from a signage company. So from there, we made the decision to go with plastic, which is injection molding. So we had a mold made, and we went through this whole process of 3D printing to come up with a more rounded version, and actually, due to the requirements of what they had at Parkland, they needed it to be vertical in a portrait orientation instead of a landscape. And so we worked with them again to design this frame and how they wanted it. Then we worked with a molding company to get that straight, and we ran those off, and Parkland was happy with that. Since then, our sales group has extended the requirement that they would like a shallower version, smaller, just like everything with iPhones. Well, until recently, I guess. Now they're getting bigger again. But prior to that, everything was in the mode of getting smaller and smaller and less of a impact on the wall. So we needed a smaller one. So with Baylor, we worked with them to shrink it down and change some of the hardware out to make it as flush mount as possible. And that's basically been the evolution of it. Man, creativity and innovation. It's thinking outside of the box. I mean, there's a lot of easy way to do things, but sometimes you have to really step back and attack the problem from a different kind of lens. And You know, Rapid is an example of that, and we really had to step back and really rethink things. You know, this Rapid didn't exist on the market prior to this. That's why we had to go out and make it ourselves. Historically, we like to buy stuff that's correct for the application and install it. But this really required us to step back and take a look at it.